Hey folks, Apex Shaver here. I'm the guy who Doug DeMuro says has lots of quirks and features. I've got that video. It's around here somewhere. But either way, if you follow my content, you'll soon find out what he's talking about. Definitely have a lot of quirks. Hopefully some positive features that you'll enjoy. I'm a 60-plus-year-old sim racing enthusiast. Been doing it for a while. But if you're looking for a total alien type channel, you're probably in the wrong place. You might want to go check out, I don't know, Jardier, Dave Cam, Emery, somebody like that. But if you're just looking for entertaining sim racing content, this could be the place for you. And I'm not going to be coaching you or coaching you into pushing certain buttons, doing certain things. Hey, it's your own free will. You'll do what you're going to do or not. So now let's get on with the next video.
Okay, folks, so we're going to make a rig that makes 80/20 look sloppy. This thing is going to be so solid. And for time's sake, what I'm going to do, I actually have the entire video. It'll be in the link in the description of me building this. But this is going to be a short version of how to make your rig an absolute monster. So we're starting out. I want to just show you real quick from where I'm at. And you can see these risers here. The angle riser coming up has been glued, screwed with brackets and big lag bolts with big fender washers on them. And the other one has angle brackets, and I've screwed through both sides with glue between everything. So these risers individually are absolutely strong just in their self. So what I'm going to do here from the old guy mind is I'm going to show you how to make your little 2x4 rig simple but strong as an ox. And so what I'm doing here is I have some pre-cut that I've already cut angle brackets and a sheet of 16 gauge steel. And I'm, as you see now, measuring the way I want these rails to be underneath this plate. And if you understand any building, most of you contractor guys or construction guys know what I'm doing here. But basically, it's just a multiple cut thing with a saw. I'm cutting it at the depth of the angle bracket and getting that all set. And it doesn't have to be, it can be sloppy because this is not going to be visible in any way. So I don't have to worry about every little chip. What I have to worry about is just that those angle brackets fit into the slots that I'm cutting. And so now you'll see that I've done the multiple cuts here. And I think I'm going to start chipping out now with the chisel, and we just chip out those parts that we did the multiple cuts on. And that's going to allow the top part of that angle bracket to settle down flush with the top of the 2x4s. And so you'll see now what I'm going to do is after I get that cut and get it set right, I'm making sure the measurements are correct. And then I'm going to take a very quality construction adhesive, and I'm going to force it into all those slots before I put that angle bracket in. And you'll see in a second I'm going to bolt that in with lag bolts through the angle bracket through the 2x4s. Now you may be saying, Phil, you're cutting almost all the way through those 2x4s and you're going to lose all that structure. Well, it seems that way, but what actually is happening is with the glue squished between any small gaps there may be, and the iron being in there, it's actually stronger than the original 2x4. So I'm not worried about that at all. I could have put 2x4s underneath that as well for extra support, but it's just not needed. And you'll see that as we go along here. So now I've got them all cut and everything, and I'm going to get the glue and I'm going to start bolting them in. And you're going to see that happen here. And what's going to happen is I'm taking these already solid vertical structures that have already been reinforced with multiple ways of doing that, which is through iron, metal, angle brackets and lag bolts, and then wood screws with glue in between everything. Nothing I did had any lack of glue. And so that way, all the stuff is solid and it can't creak because everything that I put in each connection will not creak. And so now this iron is going to lock those two already solid structures down and make them absolutely immovable. It's like freaking a rock. It's crazy how solid it is. It does not move, creak, crack, twist, flex, or anything. And it's strong enough to put any direct drive base on it, and it can handle any of that torque without any problem. And so you can see now I'm getting the final stuff. What I'm doing now is, of course, I'm pre-drilling all the holes that I'm going to put the screws and bolts in, and I'm also countersinking them so they'll be flush with the surface. And you see this is going along pretty well. And it's a really simple process. That's the thing, is people don't realize how close they are to having a structure like this on their rig, and they think they have to go buy $1,000, setup, And you see here what I've done now is I've actually clamped some of that material on the top of it and then routed that out. And you can see me standing on it, which is showing, hey, that's one strong son of a gun, man. And here's the finished product. Just before I actually put the little final touches, you can see I put the side on there. I eventually cut that out and leave it open because I'm a part with the pedals, because I really like the way that looks. And so here's different views of it with different, with it on and with it off, and that's before I moved it into my area. So, hey, you know what? It's been absolutely awesome. And I'm glad you joined me. Hopefully that you can save money and have an absolutely rock solid rig with just a little bit of, knowledge. Be safe with the saw. I don't want to be responsible when they cut their fingers off. You have to be careful when you're doing that and know what you're doing when you're measuring on that saw. You always unplug it before you do any kind of measurements. So that's just my little safety thing there for you. But yeah, hey, thanks for tuning in. Hope this gives you some tips. This is Apex Shaver, who is really Phil Grooms, and you guys have a great one.